Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Automation Tech Guru. In this tutorial, Jira a tutorial for beginners complete course 2022 part 3, we will see in this video enable features in Jira, how to create a sprint in Jira, how to add story points in Jira, and how to start and close a sprint in Jira. So let's start. So open the URL, this Jira training URL. So I just am going to Jira training course dot atlassian dot net, and when you click on Jira project, so you can see here the backlog, and in the backlog we already created some of the stories. Now we will enable the some of the settings which is required for the project. So we will go to the project settings. So if you see in the project settings, there is a feature option. So in the features you can see here the planning. This is the planning basically. So you need to enable whatever features you required for this project. So you just need to enable this roadmap. So your roadmap is an optimized location to create and manage your epic. If you want to learn more, you just need to click on this link. So it will show the roadmap view is valuable for creating and planning long-term projects. It visualizes data from your issue in a Gantt chart, and so that you can manage your teamwork within the single project. So you can see the roadmap features and what are the features in this, and all the help is given, required help is given here. And in the same way you can just enable the backlog also. So you just need to click on enable or disable. So you can see the backlog, plan and prioritize your team's work in a dedicated space. If you click on this, it will again open the some of the details related to the backlog. So what is backlog? This is a view, is a dedicated space for defining and prioritizing work your team will take on now and into the future. So whatever you create the features or epics inside the epic, you can create a stories. So whatever issue type you are creating, it directly created in the backlog. So it will decided on the priority basis. On the priority, you can pick up those stories into the current sprint, or it can be picked up in the upcoming stories, upcoming sprint. So that basically allow you to create a feature task also, or feature issues also. And in the same way, if you want to enable reporting, issue navigation, a sprint, so you can see the sprint also. If you click on this, you can learn the what is a sprint. So the sprint is a fixed time period where a team commits to a set of number of issues from their backlog. A sprint are usually 1, 2, or 4 weeks long. At the end of the sprint, a team will typically have built and implement the working uh, product increment. So basically sprint is a 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It depends on the project requirement. You can have the sprint based on that. So if it is a 2 weeks sprint, so it will be a 10 days, 10 working days will be applicable. And whatever stories we have put it in the current sprint, within the 10 days we have to complete those sprint with the development, with the testing, and based on the testing you can just deploy an particular environment. So based on that you can create, you can complete the particular sprint. And also you can see here the estimation also. So in the sprint you need to use the estimate complexity, size and effort. So story points basically it's a unit that to estimate complexity, size and effort. So suppose you have a very simple requirement, adding some text boxes or some labels in your web page. So it will be a one or two story point. So based on that you can create a story point. You can assign you can just size the story, or particular story. Based on the size, you can have the number of hours to complete the task within the requirement completion, development, and testing. So all other things will come under that particular story point. And you can use the time, so it will allow you to use minutes, hours, days to estimate effort, and the original estimate field is automatically added to issue when first enabled. Configure your field manually after that. So these are the configurable things which you can add to the estimates. If you click on this learn more about estimates, you can see the details also. So in this way you can just enable the features which is required for your particular project. Now we will go back to the project. So just click on the back to project and go to the backlog. So you can see here, this is the backlog with this issue types. If you want to create more issues or more epics, you can just create here and add, it will be added to the backlog. Now we will create the story sprint. So you can see here, this is the button, create button to create the story, sorry, sprint. So when you click on sprint, create sprint, it automatically added the auto sprint one. And you can see here, plan your sprint and drag the issue to backlog section or create a new issues to plan the work for this sprint. Select start sprint when you are ready. So from the backlog you just need to put, so first we will edit this sprint. So click on here, you have two options. If sprint is not started, you can delete it or you can edit it. So if you go to the sprint edit, so what we can do, we can use sprint auto sprint one. We will not change the name. Duration will be the 1 week, 2 week, 4 week, or you can have the custom options. So based on that you can use the date and timing. So suppose I am starting a sprint now or tomorrow. So I want to start a sprint tomorrow, and that will be a 2 week sprint. So based on that, and date will be coming. So from tomorrow to 28, that will be started. And a sprint goal will be the basically the goal which you want to achieve in particular sprint. Suppose you have uh, suppose you have 5 to 10 features which you want to accomplish or achieve in the current sprint. So you just need to pick up those story, and based on the story point you can pick up the story, and those story can be added to this sprint. And you have to focus on, or you have to be set the goal to close or to complete those stories within this sprint. So completion means you have to do that development, then you have that writing the test cases, creating the test cases, and execution on the environment, deployment. All the things can be done within the sprint based on those story points or a particular story. So story goal will be, sprint goal will be complete the complete the user stories based on the story points. So when you click on update, it will update automatically, and date it also is here, but it will not allow you to start until unless you can see the date. So suppose I just added this date to today's date and update this. So once you will add all the stories to this sprint, then only it will allow you to enable the story, enable the sprint. So in this way you can create or you can plan your sprint. So right now it's showing 0 0 because we don't have any progress or any story point for this particular sprint. So after creating this sprint, we just need to go to the story and we need to assign the story for some of the story points. So what we can do, we can just right click on it it and if you click on it, you can see the log work, add flag, connect, select channel, change parent, move, clone, delete. These are some options and you can have the configuration also. So based on that you can add the configuration fields. So we need to update the story on the story point. So you can see here, this is the sprint. You just need to select the sprint. If you select this sprint, it will come to the sprint 1. And what will be the original estimate? So suppose I am putting 2 days. So it will say the time spent and time remaining. So the timing you can have like this. Suppose you have work for 2 hours. So what you can do, you can use the 2h. This will be the 2 hours. So remaining will be the 1 day, 6 hours. So this Jira automatically calculate 8 hours per day. So if you complete 1 day, it will remaining 1 day. If you complete 30 minutes and then space, you can add the 2 hours. So you can see this is the remaining hours. It will be like 2 hours then 30 minutes. So you can see 1 day 5 hours 30 minutes will be remaining. So based on this calculation, you can have the set the number of hours you have work, or you can just use the time spending on particular task or particular story. Based on that you can just save this. So if you see, if you want to change the story point, just need to click on it and change the story point based on your requirement. And after this you just need to save this. So it's automatically saving and you can have the options test in progress, review done. You can see the workflow also. So now this story is added to the sprint. So now you can see here, this is the story sprint, sprint 1, and you can see the story is added to this sprint. Now if you want to add more stories, you just need to drag or drop to this particular panel. So suppose I just use this user story here, and you can see we just need to edit this. So just go to this edit, or you just need to click on it. And if you want to add, so it's basically added to the particular sprint. So based on this the requirement, you can add a number of stories to the particular sprint. Now what we need to do, we need to start the sprint. So I have added as a date from 13 September to 27 September, and it says that 2 issues will be added to this sprint. When you click on this click on the start, so it will ask for the update. And if you scroll, and you can click on start. Once you click this start, it means that the story will be the sprint will be started, and you can see in the board. If you see the board, two issues will be the story sprint. In this current sprint you have two stories, and based on that story work you can just drag and drop. If you put in progress, so that will be in progress. If you want to put it in test, once that is deployed to the environment, you can put as a test, and then after you can put it in a review. So that will be a code review or test cases review, whatever you want to add. You can add to particular this story, and once that is added you can put in the done. So based on this the issue will be completed. And if you go to this particular story, you can see the status is changed. And if you see the history, if you click on this, you can see the history also. This will show what exactly happened to this. So you can see here, this user create the issue, this user then link this auto 3 auto 4, then updated the sprint in 6 minutes ago, then it go to the updated and original estimate, remaining estimates. So based on all the things, you can just put the, and you can see here this is already done. So you just need to drag to the particular status, whatever status is in the story. So based on this you can just put all the stories on a particular status. So suppose I just drag this also to that particular status, and we can put all, both are the done. So now if you go to the backlog and you can go to the sprint, so you can see both the stories are done in this sprint. So what we need to do, we just need to complete the story or complete the sprint. So all the sprints, all the stories are completed within the sprint. So you just need to click on this complete sprint. So again it will say that it cannot be complete as there is incomplete task. So if you go to the auto 2, it will not allow you to close this until unless you can complete the task. So you can see this is the subtask in this training. So you just need to done, and you can put the done for both the task. So this is closed now, and just put the done. And when again you go to the backlog, so you can see the, if you click on complete, you can see the sprint content to completed issue. That's all the for then well done. So it means that you have completed this issue, and when you complete this sprint, and when you click on complete, this sprint is completed. Now you can create another sprint based on the next date, whatever date is available. So in this way you can just start the sprint or you can complete the sprint. So in this video we have seen how we can enable some features like roadmap or backlog and other estimates features in Jira, and also we have seen how we can create a sprint, how we can start, and how we can add a story to the sprint, and how we can complete the sprint. And also we have seen how we can add the story point to the particular story. So I hope you like my video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.